Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Max Stern Athletic Center for a Sunday matinee matchup between the Yeshiva University Maccabees and the Amherst Mammoths. I'm Charlie Bendheim, alongside me as usual, Akiva Erlbaum. Extremely excited for a matchup that YU sort of has to win. They've been okay of late, coming off a game versus Purchase where they didn't play so well, but they eked out a victory, a hard-fought game.
Yeah, it was not YU's prettiest performance against Purchase. They did not really win in their ideal fashion. And Purchase did their homework. They did their research, and they recognized that Zevi Samit is going to be the go-to guy to score the ball for YU every single time. They smothered him with defense, but that left room for Oren Batesh to do what he does best, and that is shoot the ball from beyond the arc. He went a very impressive 8 for 12. He was hitting nearly everything. So let's see how Amherst looks to contend with defending both of those very impressive players.
And an Amherst team which themselves are coming off a loss to the Babson Bobcats. They got off to a slow start, were never really able to come back in the game. A very tall team, play a very different style than YU.
Yeah, Amherst is a team that is 500 right now. They haven't been able to get over that hump. But one thing that they do have that you can't really teach is size. They have 4 players over 6'10", and I did not say that wrong. 4 players over 6'10", a bunch of giants on the court. And their go-to primary scorer is a guy, Cannon Reynolds, and he's also able to distribute into the post. Amherst is a team with a lot of weapons that their coach is very impressed with, and they're only going to get better with time. Let's see how YU contends with this Amherst Mammoths basketball team.
Well, it's going to be an exciting game. We thank you for joining us during this holiday weekend. Coming up next after the break, we have lineups, we have anthems, we have basketball here at the Max Stern Athletic Center.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, founder and chairman of Leket Israel, YC class of 96. It's citrus season in Israel. We need to rescue millions of pounds of these citrus fruit to feed the needy just over the next few months. So please give us a hand. Help the winning team, Leket Israel, and the other winning team. Go Max!
Hello and welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center for today's game between the Yeshiva University Maccabees and the Amherst Mammoths. Once again, I'm Charlie Bendheim alongside Akiva Erlbaum. Now, as we mentioned during the pregame show, this game features 2 teams with extremely different styles.
Yeah, Charlie, YU is all about the perimeter shooting. They had that motion offense, and it's able to free a lot of cutters and get a lot of people open beyond the arc. While
we're going to actually go to the PA announcer right now for anthems, so hold that thought.
Okay.
Welcome back into the booth. Where Akiva, before you got cut off by the Anthems, you were talking about the difference in styles that both these teams have and the issues it may pose to YU down the stretch.
Yeah, those Anthems came in hot. And look, if there's one thing that I'm willing to be interrupted by, it's the anthems of two of our home countries. I'm totally okay with that. But as I was talking about Amherst a little bit, they're a team who has so much size but also so much depth. You know, YU usually running 7-8 man rotations. Some of the games that they're up big, they get the rest of their bench involved. But Amherst is a team that really gets every single person involved. They still have a lot of very young players, and they're still trying to figure out what their best rotations and what their best lineups are. So they're going to look to be very fresh throughout the game, and fatigue should not really be a factor for them.
Absolutely. Now, the starting lineups are sponsored by the Yeshiva University Office of Admissions. As you start your college journey, make sure you visit us online to check out all the great virtual events and opportunities we have for YU students and how you, too, can be a Maccabee. We'll begin with the visiting Amherst College Mammoths. Starting at guard, the sophomore, Kanan Reynolds. Starting at center, the 6'7 senior, Michael Schroeder. Starting at guard, the 6'3 sophomore, Bobby Summers. Starting at forward, the 6'7 sophomore, Riker Vance. And starting at forward, the 6'7 sophomore, Noah Helmka. Kanan Reynolds, the player on this team to look out for.
Yeah, Reynolds averaging 9.3 points a game, but don't let that fool you. He is still their go-to scorer. He is able to score in a variety of ways, and he's not one of the bigger players on their team. He's not so tall, but he makes a huge impact on the floor.
They're coached by head coach Marlon Sears. Now, for the Macs, they're going to go with their classic starting five. The freshman forward, 6'4", Roy Itkovich. Zevi Samadov, of course, the sophomore 6'1 guard. Matan Zucker, the senior 6'4". Adi Markovic, coming off an injury, got cleared to play just before this game, so he'll start at guard for the Macs at 6'2", the junior. And Dotan Berdichev, the freshman, 6'6".
Yeah, Adi Markovic went down. He got a little bit shaken up in that last game against Purchase, so a lot of people thought that maybe he wouldn't be back for this game, but he is here, in fact. And there were some questions about if there would be some changes in the starting lineup with the very impressive performance that Oren Batesh had, but it looks like coach is going to stick it out with his starting five, and Batesh will look to see big minutes off of the bench.
All right, so it's that time of day. Fans are ready. The refs are ready. The players are just about ready. Now the refs are not ready. We're sure ready. We thank you for joining in. Hopefully watching on your glistening new TVs purchased on Black Friday. Just waiting for, I believe, a security issue. That's got all fixed up. And here we go. And we're underway as it's Samet, and the Macs will start with it. Itkovich. Berdichev. Itkovich. Max moving well off the ball as Berdichev from way downtown gets us started with the triple. Now it's Reynolds. Here's Vance. Twists, turns, finishes strong inside.
As both teams scoring early, and that's going to be a goal for Amherst. They went down huge against Babson. They want to make sure that they don't get caught off guard.
Solid cut inside by Zucker. He couldn't finish, and it's Reynolds now for the Mammoths. Helmke jockeying for position inside. Markovic doing a good job fronting him. Berdichev on the smaller Reynolds. Vance throws the ball up. Just a solid front by Adi Markovic, and he'll bring it up for the Macs. Berdichev wide open inside, pumps, goes up with a layup. No good, so that's two missed layups early on here for the Macs.
Yeah, but they had the looks that they wanted by having those off-ball screens and getting open down low.
Bobby Summers gets called for the travel.
Sommer's already making a mistake early, but he was the one who kind of got Amherst into that last ball game against Babson. He hit a big 3 early.
Now it's Samet. Pulls up from mid-range. Give him 2.
That's the Zevi Samet that we know and love. We know that he has the ability to do that every single time that he touches the ball.
Vance. Now it's Helmke. Harassed by Roy. Shredder now. Ball deflected out of bounds. The shot clock just reset. I believe it was at 10 seconds. I don't know if it should reset to 30. Referee sort that out. So 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 5-2 early on in this game. Max doing a good job on both sides of the basketball, cutting well offensively, D'ing up well. As that's a deep triple. Bottom. Kanan Reynolds from downtown.
Yeah, Cannon with the cannon there. We know that he could shoot that ball. YU has to do a much better job at closing out on him, making sure he doesn't have those opportunities.
Now it's Markovich. Samet loses the ball out of bounds. It's going Amherst's way. Sommers. Helmke, that's a triple. Oof, that was pretty. Amherst up 3.
It's great to see Helmke getting involved early. He had 6 points last game, but they're going to look to get him very involved.
Markovich draws the double, finds Zuck on the cut. He'll get fouled. We'll have 2 free throws. Solid off-the-ball movement by the Max early on.
Yeah, and Matan Zucker was someone that not a lot of people focused on last game, but he's someone who made a tremendous impact in every single way on the floor. Batesh had that huge 33-point eruption, but Matan Zucker was just working for every rebound. He was a workhorse. Coaches are pretty scared of him and the physicality that he brings to the game.
Yeah, Coach Sears told us before the game that although Matan might not score that much, he really facilitates this YU offense.
Yeah, he really does. And you and I actually had a chance to talk to Coach Steinmetz last night. He imparted us with a lot of wisdom, and he told us a lot of key takeaways about the game. But one thing that he said about Matan Zucker is, yeah, sometimes people give him the Ben Simmons treatment and they leave him open with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. But sometimes that's not the smartest shot. We know he has the ability to make those, but sometimes it's better to get the ball to guys like Batesh and guys like Samet if you have some time on the shot clock. So Matan making a lot of smart decisions.
Now Schroeder's going to take it at him. Teardrop jumper, no good. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll go to the Max. Markovich takes a seat, Batesh into the game as Roy loses the ball there. Gets it back underneath. He'll go up and hit the layup. Back screen by Zevi Salmon opened that one up. Roy able to finish underneath.
Yeah, Roy might have gotten away with a carry there. We saw the ball go over his shoulder. It's great defense there by Dotan.
Radichev all year has been solid defensively. Samet now. Swings it back to Samet. Catch and shoot. That's a triple. Short. Dotan on the rebound. It's Batesh. A cutting Samet uses his body and gets the 2 to fall. That's 4 now for Zevi Samet. As Amherst getting ready to sub a majority of their starters out of this game. As we mentioned in the pregame, they'll be doing a lot of that. As another steal now by the Max, it's Batesh this time. Itkovich. Samet, that's a deep 3. Short. Vance gets high for the rebound, can't corral it, and now it's Zucker. Picks up his dribble a little bit early, and Roy Ikovich throws it away. And here comes Reynolds now on the break. That's a free throw line jumper. Rolls in. Tie ball game.
Yeah, YU had a lot of opportunities on that possession to make something happen, and they couldn't quite convert. As you see Samet setting another screen, opening up Dotan in the back door.
Ooh, and Vance rejects Zucker. Went to his favorite left hand. Vance saw it coming. It's Reynolds. Stripped by Samet, and Vitesh will run the break. Slows it down. Samet. Cross to Ikovich. Berdichev spot up three. Rattles it in. He's got 6. Reynolds barks out orders. Schroeder. Vance. Schroeder now. Helmke gets called for the walk. And it will be all 5 starters out for Amherst. A new 5 led by guard C.J. Mitchell. Will Phelan checking in. Charlie Randall, number 25, the 7-1 center. Number 22, Giovanni Tom, out of Milan, Italy.
And it's got to be a disaster for any coach to have to contend with a fresh 5. Doesn't really know which player should be covering who. And a lot of new faces out there. It's hard to scout when you're seeing that many fresh bodies on the court.
Chris Hammond, the 6'6 freshman out of Los Angeles, California, rounding out the 5 bench players who just checked in for the Amherst Mammoths, as it looks like they're looking to clean a wet spot on the court. So early on in this game, YU has done an exceptional job off the ball on the offensive end.
Yeah, we talk about their motion offense and creating those opportunity from those back screens, and Samet has scored a couple of buckets, but he's also set a lot of key screens that have gotten some of his offensive players going for easy, wide open layups. That's exactly what Coach Elliot Steinmetz is looking to employ in this offense.
It's Roy, a player who Coach Steinmetz said is someone to look out for in the coming seasons, has already exceeded expectations this year, as Batesh starts where he left off with a 3. It's Hammond. Phelan loses it, collects it back. Inside Randall. That's too much height for Roy Ikovich.
And Randall was the high scorer for Amherst last game, scoring 12 points. And he's one of those big bodies in the post who's able to score in a variety of ways.
And here's Samet. Cross. That'll be a blocking foul on number 30, Will Phelan.
And let's go back to that last three-pointer by Oren Batesh. You said picking up right where he left off last game. But we could also talk about the other things that he's been doing so much better this year on the court. He's been playing so much better defensively. And we saw him get 2 key steals earlier with those active hands, even getting involved in one of the rebounds down low. Oren Batesh is no longer considered a defensive liability like some considered him in the past seasons.
As Roy, too strong on the 3. But he really gave a lot of effort and focus on his defense and his rebounding. And Coach Steinmetz alluded to that in our conversation with him. He's always in the gym. He's always watching film, and it shows this year. His defense much improved.
Coaches love gym rats. Coaches love people that'll put in the time and put in the effort.
Phelan gets that one to fall. Max only up 1. Solid basketball by both teams to begin this game. Berdichev pumps, drives, floater, way too strong. Ball knocked around, and it's Phelan with it. Mitchell, catch and shoot triple. Uh-huh. So Amherst catching some fire from downtown, giving the Macs a little taste of their own medicine. And YU finds themselves down 2. Batesh. Tom on Berdichev, who gives it. Now it's Zucker. Berdichev, open corner 3, off back iron. Pass inside to Tom, gets hacked by Zucker. He wore that one right in the chops. He'll get rewarded with 2 free throws.
The effort was there by Zucker, but he made a little too much contact with the body there. Let's talk about Zucker at the other end of the floor. He's been known to clog up the lane a little bit and get involved in the paint, which does not allow so much spacing on the offense. I think he's been doing a bit of a better job of staying in the corner a little bit more and not disrupting the offensive fluid.
As Margasov checks in, Zucker will take a seat. So Giovanni Tom, the 6'10 freshman out of Milan, Italy. Some raw talent. He's going to improve as his career moves along, but so impressive to have an elusive big man as a freshman, and he gets big minutes, and he'll continue to get better as his career moves along. But very cool to see the overseas talent displayed in this game. We have a few players from Israel as Samet connects on the mid-range jimmer. We have some players from Israel on the Macs, a player from Abu Dhabi, a player from Milan. So the world getting repped during the World Cup in our D3 hoops.
Yeah, the new wave in basketball is to have a big man from a foreign country. You have a back-to-back MVP in Nikola Jokic, and you have Joel Embiid, one of the premier big men in the league. And we have in D3 our very own Giovanni Tom, someone who's been able to produce for this Amherst team a lot early in the season. So look for that theme to continue.
Batesh. It's Roy. He's open. 3 straight on. So Roy sticks with it, missed his first couple of threes, connects on that one. Will put the Macs up 2. It's Tom, now it's Mitchell. Phelan, he's got a guy in the far corner. Gives it to him a little late, doesn't matter. Shot goes up, misses everything. And the Macs are going to get the ball back, and Zevi Samet's going to check out. Adi Markovic is going to check back into the game. Zamet's got 6 early points, leads, or is tied for the lead in scoring with Dotan Berdichev. Now it's Zucker. Roy pumps, puts it on the deck, pulls up. Can't get the shot to fall. And it's Phelan, pardon me. Now it's Mitchell with Batech on him. Crosses, hops inside, floater no good. Zucker rises for the board, and now he'll push it himself. Markovic, good seal, out to Roy. He won't find a more open 3, and he'll connect. Timeout Amherst. Max moving the ball exceptionally well on offense. And with that, we are pleased to welcome in our 3rd member of the crew, SJ Tannenbaum, on the court.
Thanks, guys. As we saw, Oren Batesh hit a 3 earlier this game, but last game against Purchase this past Tuesday, Oren scored a career-high 33 points on 8 3-pointers. With the 3-pointers he scores on the court don't go without work. We got a text from Oren telling us all about his routine of how he practices threes. Listen to this. First, he does form shooting near the basket and makes 5 swishes right in front of the basket, moving spot to spot. He then shoots 200 to 250 mid-range jumpers from 7 spots. Then he goes to catch and shoot threes and then moves on to working on transition threes. After that, he finishes off going over his motion with the offense and shooting shots he would get in the motion offense. Point being, when you see Oren Batesh score all these threes in the game, it does not come without hard work. Funny enough, Oren and I actually have the same pregame routine, so that's pretty crazy. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, SJ. And for all of you viewers who have never seen SJ Tannenbaum shoot the rock, you could just watch Oren Batesh. It's pretty much the same exact thing. As Margasov gets called for a foul off the ball. Now, for Amherst, they make more changes. Reynolds checks back into the game. Dan Schlackman getting his first minutes, number 33, the 6'7" junior forward out of Massachusetts. Vance back into the game. He had a big block earlier. Ooh, that's a block. Some strong contact. Both players going to have to shake that up.
And a great set play out of the timeout by Amherst, getting an open opportunity in the corner, and Phelan decided to pass up that shot, and Adi got there, but they drew a foul.
That play not as solid, and now it's Phelan. Double comes from Roy, kick out. Reynolds now. He's going to get called for a walk. A little hesitant behind the arc. Shuffled his feet, and the Max will get the ball back.
Yeah, Reynolds is a guy who's very jumpy and always looking for the opportunity to score. Gets a little bit ahead of himself there.
Batesh, Sommers on the help. Now he gets his hands in the passing lane. Batesh did a good job of boxing out Sommers on that loose ball, so it'll stay with the Max, as you see here, almost like a defender in football. Didn't turn back to the ball, but felt it coming, got his hands up, and deflected the pass.
And YU has to do a bit of a better job of readjusting. Once that backdoor cut is not there from Murgusov, you got to kind of pull it out and reset. Look for other opportunities. That pass was very forced, and that's why it tipped off of the defender.
Samet sets a screen, now pops out. An open triple at the end of the shot clock is short. And back comes Amherst. Sommers almost lost his dribble. Vance shuffled his feet. That'll be a travel. This young Amherst team, you could tell, a little anxious with the basketball, undecisive, leading to a bunch of turnovers.
Yeah, those are rookie mistakes that down the line they're going to want to look to perfect, to try to keep the ball in their possession a lot more of the time.
Samet, 3 of 6, yet to connect from 3 though. As Markovic try to feed it inside, but Reynolds with the active hands deflects it out. And Berdichev looking to check back into the game. He'll take Markovic's spot.
And the look was there. Oren Batesh was wide open down low, not usually where he's the most comfortable, but the passes have got to be a little bit sharper and a little bit more accurate.
Now it's Samet. He'll get called for a travel. Try to jab step. Wasn't able to keep his pivot planted.
I think we might know what the ref's favorite call is this game. I have a hunch.
Sommers now. Phelan. Drives right. Kick out to Sommers. That's a high arcing triple. No good. Ball almost saved by Vance. He stepped on the line. And Samet will bring it up for the Maccabees. 7:18 to go here in the first half. Max up 24-19. A hard contested game thus far. Zucker. Samet drives, absorbs the contact, but Schlackman says no, sir. And here comes Reynolds. Schlackman leaves his feet. Ball off of Sommers. Solid transition defense by Margasov, and the Max will bring it up.
Schlackman making the big play against the big player, getting that key block. and that's going to earn you a lot of minutes.
And if you notice, a lot of times when a Max player sets a screen, the screener is the guy who ends up getting the ball, as Zucker throws that ball away, and Berdichev commits a foul. Probably a smart foul in transition on number 20, Somers.
Yeah, high IQ basketball play there to make that foul.
But back to the offensive end. It's the screener who oftentimes gets open for the Max and who the ball goes to, because the defense puts so much stress on switching to the cutter that the screener sort of gets forgotten about, and he ends up with the open look.
No one's denying that the opportunities are there, but can the Max capitalize? That is the big question.
So Zucker makes up for his mistake on the defensive end, collecting the steal. And now we'll have it in the corner with Schlackman on him. Bitesh, catch and shoot. Too short. So both teams going a little cold now. Started off the game strong. Shots not falling like they were at first. Hits Somers. Little spicy move, underhand inside, no good. Samet. Margasov. Cross court, Berdichev just got it over the hand of Vance, who closes out nicely and forces Berdichev into a shot off left. Somers. Schlackman. Reynolds. 2 steps, poked away again by Bitesh. That's his 3rd steal of the game. And if he continues to play this way defensively, it's going to be hard for Coach Diamonds to not leave him in the game for extended periods of time. He's so obviously skilled offensively. As Samet steps back for 3, this one goes. And when it goes, it's pure. Timeout, Max. They're up 27-19, 5:02 to go here in the first half. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
.502 left in a first half, which has been entertaining, to say the least. Both teams trading threes on the offensive side of the ball, defensively stout. It's been solid basketball to start the game.
Yeah, it has been, and YU starting to mount a more comfortable lead. It's a beautiful move there, but it's lost by Reynolds. But on that last play before the timeout was called by YU, we saw great defense leading to great offense. Bitesh with the active hands and the quick poke that got Sevi Samet the 3 ball at the under end of the floor.
So it's Samet now again, guarded by Mitchell, who just checked into the game. Zuck thought about it. Bitesh now won't get the shot off. It's going to be an offensive foul on Oren Bitesh. Pardon me, on number 52, Dotan Berdichev. So that's the Max 5th team foul. Berdichev 2nd. So he got to be careful down the stretch of this first half and throughout the rest of this game. And they go right at him. Vance attacks, draws the contact, nothing called, but he uses the window nicely and cuts the lead back down to 6. Roy. Samet has a step, floater off glass, no good. Rebounded by Schroeder. And here comes Mitchell. Schroeder. Ooh, with the left. Saucy finish there by number 13.
And if you have size, then you're going to want to use it, and that is exactly what Amherst is doing. Just down 4 points now. They're looking to tie this game up.
Bitesh, that's short. Came off a screen, never really set himself. Schroeder again. Zucker can't do anything about those floaters. Ooh, and he says too small. Michael Schroeder, the senior.
YU really having no answer for Schroeder down in the post. And Matan Zucker, although he is physical, he is not nearly as big as Schroeder. They might want to look to get some of the taller players off to the bench.
Zucker can't finish the layup. Tried the underhand scoop. Left it a little short. Here comes Reynolds. Berdichev on him. Off the Vance. They're looking to get it inside to Schroeder again. Instead, it's Mitchell. That's a three. Butter. Amherst up a point. 2:34 to go here in the first half. Berdichev now. Out to Roy. Sidestep triple. No, sir. That ball is going to be allowed to go out of bounds. Changes now made by both teams as Margasov and Landau come in for the Max. Betesh and Berdichev going to take a break. Number 25, Charlie Randall going to check in. Cannon Reynolds checking back in for Amherst. Chris Hammond in the game. And it's Randall. Too strong on the three. Schroeder called for the offensive foul.
And an interesting point to note, right now, Amherst is 5 for 7 from three-point lane. Until that shot, they were 83% from beyond the arc. Not something that they're known for, but if they can get those perimeter shots going, they could be very dangerous, because YU didn't really prepare for that, quite frankly.
It's Margasov now. Charlie Randall on him. Margasov uses his body. Samet, free throw line jumper. Off balance, but gets it to go either way. Now it's Reynolds. Landau getting his first minutes for the Max. Three-man weave. Schroeder, Randall has position on Margasov inside. Can't corral the pass as it rolls out of bounds. Now an interesting stat about Charlie Randall. He played AAU ball with Maccabees injured star Max Zackheim growing up, so they're familiar with each other. Obviously Max hurt as of right now. Is the pass a little too hot for Samet? But I wonder if Zackheim was able to give Coach Steinmetz a couple of tips about the way the 7-foot Randall plays his basketball.
As they say, it is a small world, and some people just start to recirculate. Some people that you knew from your past. As long as you play basketball, you'll see him at a park one time, you'll see him on the D3 level. You never know where you're going to see someone from your basketball past.
As Randall on cue made that jumper. Now it's Roy. Samet likes that step back, but Mitchell on him like glue. Matan decides to go with the left-handed scoop layup. Doesn't get it to fall. He'll get 2 free throws. Foul goes on number 13, Michael Schroeder. His second foul. I'd like to use this time to shout out a couple of people watching the game. Going to start with Nachi Rich, Rav Rich's son, who is a huge Max fan, watching from Israel right now. And if he's watching this, he's holding in this week's Parsha because he has to finish 9 Mikra before being able to watch the games. So any Parsha questions should be directed at him. Obviously, anyone watching from overseas, we thank you for joining us, no matter the time. As that ball is poked away by Roy. Oh, my Lord. Chris Hammond. Golly, get up, young fella. Sends that one all the way back, and we're going to see the replay as Zucker attempted to go at that layup, one-handed, left-handed, and Hammond said absolutely not. Gosh, what did that ball ever do to him? Margasov with 15 on the game clock, no shot clock. Zucker, Samet wants it, and he's got it with 7 on the game clock. Samet crosses, behind the back, draws the double. That's a tough 3. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Zevi Samet at the horn. Wow, 2-1 for 3. Max up 33-30 at the half. Electric ending to this first half. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. We got Jack Terrell, Ryan Terrell's older brother, on the halftime show. You're definitely not gonna wanna miss it, I can assure you that. So don't go anywhere.
It's going to be a celebration like we've never seen before. Deeply rooted in the Torah, inspired by our core Torah values, committed to academic excellence and geared to empower our students, the leaders of tomorrow. The flagship Jewish university is on the rise, rising in national rankings, soaring in student enrollment, launching top-tier academic programs, and helping secure great jobs and impactful careers for our graduates. Hakol L'chvodo. I invite you to join the Yeshiva University community on Sunday, December 4th at our 98th annual Hanukkah dinner, where we'll experience the impact and celebrate our achievements. This promises to be an extraordinary night in an incredible new space, an evening filled with entertainment, no speeches, and a unique experience that celebrates our Rise Up campaign. I look forward to seeing you there.
When I was in 9th grade, someone told me to give up on ball. He told me, basketball will only take you so far in life. You're not going to make it to the NBA, he said. What he was missing is that making it to the NBA isn't the only reason why we play. The game of basketball leaves you with so much more than just the game itself. The life lessons and friendships that are made while playing the game will outlive the game and can last a lifetime.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, founder and chairman of Leket Israel, YC class of 96. It's citrus season in Israel. We need to rescue millions of pounds of these citrus fruit to feed the needy just over the next few months. So please give us a hand. Help the winning team, Leket Israel, and the other winning team. Go Mac!
My story started with a letter in the mail. I took my first steps in New York and felt the energy all around me.
I connected with my Rebbe on the first day of Shir.
My story was learning that the mitochondria is more than just the powerhouse of the cell.
I made my painting from scratch, like really from scratch.
My roommates came here from 4 different countries. We lit one menorah together.
My story was practice every night.
Chavruta every night.
Subway rides, city lights.
In my story, my name was...
Pretending to take it back by Leipert. Give it to Terrell. Terrell! That's right, Terrell, 2 more! Pretending to take it back by Leifert. Given to Terrell. Terrell! Dips right, Terrell, 2 more!
Hello and welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center, where the Max are beating Amherst by a score of 33-30 in what was an entertaining first half. And now we are joined in the booth by two very special guests, Jack Terrell and Nati Terrell. Nati, say hi to the people at home.
He's close. He could say yeah, dada, and mama. The high, we're not there yet, but class of 2042, guys, keep your eye out. He's the next Terrell up to get on the Max squad. So
is that true? Okay.
Is Coach Elliott Steinmetz scouting him quite yet or no?
He had a meeting with Harold Katz last week to discuss the motion, and we got him doing suicides with Yogev Bardugo. So we're working our way up.
Very good. Okay, so Nati, we're going to keep an eye on you in the future here. Jack, we have a few questions for you, starting with what you saw in the first half from this Max team.
First of all, I absolutely love this Max team, and I absolutely love what I saw. They're not relying on one guy to score. Amherst is a very, very, very good team and a great chance to see what they're made of against some of the better teams in the conference. If you looked, they got everything they wanted to get within their offense. They weren't reliant on ISOs. They weren't reliant on post-ups. Everything they got was within the flow of the motion. They got what they needed. And in terms of defensively, they got some bruisers on Amherst. I ain't going to lie about that. Those are some big boys. But I thought you look 33-30. We handled ourselves nicely. I got to give a shout-out to Dotan, whose closeouts looked excellent, and his fronting the post was excellent. Zuck, my main man's got to get in front of his man. But other than that, we look really good offensively, and we can get what we want.
And just sticking with that, throughout the whole entire season, the Max have been, I guess, exceeding expectations. What are your thoughts on them so far?
Okay, so some people say exceeding expectations because people were saying this is a rebuilding year. I have texts that I could send to the Max Live Twitter that said in July this team was winning Skyline Conference. I like the coaching staff. They have a track record of succeeding. They've won before they've had superstars, and I like this freshman class a lot. And I like the returning seniors a lot. So obviously, you know, when it comes to if a team's going to play us straight up and not play kitschy, scouted defense like Farmingdale plays against us, we're going to get what we want. And that's just a testament to what the coaching staff's done with this team.
Absolutely, Jack. And shifting gears a little bit away from this basketball game, you yourself, you're an animated character. You had an illustrious career as a basketball player in your own right, and you have a popular Twitter page, and you've recently been featured in some very celebrated podcasts like the Balabatin podcast.
Yeah.
So you have your own career going for you, and that's going splendidly.
I wouldn't call it a career. I call it like a dad who doesn't go out drinking with the boys anymore, so he needs his boys' time, and so we throw on the Balabatin podcast.
Yep.
And if you guys are fans of YU Max basketball and want to know about the coach's mindset, I recommend the Harold Katz podcast. We're on episode 2. He's the godfather of the motion. He's super, super intelligent, a coach for 40 years. So I recommend you guys tune in. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a career. We're having a good time, man. What is more exciting than Max basketball, guys?
Not much.
I'll tell you, it's not the Motor City Cruise and the 3 minutes my brother's getting. This is what's more exciting.
Wow.
Well, we were going to get to that.
Those 3 minutes are really exciting. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's tuning in for those.
Yeah.
But either way, so you've been on those podcasts. And by the way, it sounds like you're living the ideal dad life right now. Don't get it twisted. But you are all over the place, but you also come from a famous Jewish basketball family. You've got Ryan playing for the Motor City Cruise, so we want to hear an insider's perspective about how he's doing. But I also want to hear about how's your mom doing? Does she get a condo in Detroit? Is she going there all the time? We miss her over here in the Max Stern Athletic Center. A lot of energy sucked out of the gym when she's not here.
Hold on,
guys. About all the
guys.
family.
Laurel Terrell will be here next week. I guarantee it. Do we have a game next week?
Breaking news.
Do we have a game next week?
We do, and if we didn't, we have one now.
Well, no, she won't be here now.
We schedule around her schedule.
Wait, but Laurel Terrell will be making a cameo next week. I guarantee it. If she knows that the people want her, she will show up. She gives the people what they want. Look, I got two perspectives on the Detroit thing. There's the brother and fan perspective that I have. I was like, come on, play him. But the honest perspective, Ryan cannot be in a better situation basketball-wise. He gets to play against top talent every single day, earn his way. The fact of the matter is he came into training camp off an injury. So he really had to adjust athletically he came back ready to play for the Max, not necessarily ready to play for the Pistons. So now, if you saw, he did his signature move last night. He's starting to get his flow in. He's going to get his shot, and he's going to take advantage of it. In worst-case scenario, he does, there's always other options like Yisroel, but I really like what he's got going on as a Kiddush Hashem and a role model for Jewish kids everywhere.
And now, before we let you go, just any last thoughts you want to share about this team, about Ryan, about anything? The floor is yours.
Tune in to the Ball Habatzin post-Max games, and every week, I think Thursdays, we got the Harold Katz podcast. If you love YU Max basketball, you're going to love this podcast. And tune in to Max Live. These guys are great. And last thing, the YU Hanukkah dinner, for the first time ever, we're opening up to young alumni. It's going to be a party. It's going to be great music. Great time to hang out with friends. So I suggest you guys go to that too. I got to cut some business in here too. So
definitely hear that, Mr. Terrell. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to cut it to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with halftime stats and second half action here on Max Live.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, founder and chairman of Leket Israel, YC class of '96. It's citrus season in Israel. We need to rescue millions of pounds of these citrus fruit to feed the needy just over the next few months. So please give us a hand. Help the winning team, Leket Israel, and the other winning team. Go Mac!
Hello and welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center, where we are almost set for second half action. Again, the Max up 33-30 on the Amherst Mammoths. Halftime stats are brought to you by Leket Israel. Leket Israel, rescuing nutritious surplus food for Israelis in need. And you can see on your screen here, rebounding has gone Amherst's way, but there's a caveat there.
Yeah. I'm very surprised to say that Amherst has shown nothing on the offensive side of the board. They have not been able to grab down any offensive rebounds, which is so surprising because they have all these guys over 6'10". They're supposed to be the bigger, stronger, more physical team. But it's really been all about the three-point shooting for them. That's where they've been able to get some of their offense. And a lot of our predictions are not coming to fruition. A lot of scouts said that this team was all about the men in the post, and yeah, they're surprising us in a lot of ways for the good and for the bad this game.
Yeah, and towards the end of the half, they started to work the ball into Shredder. They started to get Randall involved a little bit. But for the most part, the inside game was not working. And as Jack said during the halftime show, Zucker and Berdichev specifically, have been doing a great job of closing their defenders and really fronting them, right? Not allowing that ball inside to these bigs and forcing this Amherst team to default to the three-point shot, which of course they've been hitting. But still, if you're the Max, you cannot be upset with how that first half went.
Yeah, you saw Zucker struggling a little bit with Michael Shredder. Shredder had a few consecutive points, and Zucker made some adjustments. But, yeah, Dotan Bardichev really doing a great job keeping a low center of gravity and staying low to the floor, making sure he has that forearm against the back of the offensive player and limiting Amherst's ability to score in the post. And that's going to be something that is a huge point of emphasis going into the second half if YU wants to maintain this lead.
So out come the starters for the Max, but not for Amherst, as they're going to have both their guards, C.J. Mitchell and Cannon Reynolds, on the floor, along with Riker Vance, Bobby Summers, and Michael Shredder. And we're underway in the second half. It was an exciting first half, as off the bat, a lack of concentration by Vance a quick turnover.
Perfect start if you're the YU Max. And let's talk a little bit more about those rebounds. Amherst is out rebounding YU 17-9 right now. It's so strange to think about how none of those come off offensive end.
Yeah, it's been a point of emphasis during the week of practice for the Max. When you look at a team like Amherst, so many players above 6'7", it has to be what you practice. And having all 5 guys come in for defensive rebounds, ensuring that you secure the basketball and are able to start your offensive possession. As Samet looks to pick up where he left off, can't get that one to fall. Samet, of course, with the acrobatic triple at the end of last half as time expired.
Another highlight reel play that Zevi Samet could add to his already pretty impressive reel thus far.
Vance thought about it, now decides to pull it. No good. Hesitated there. A lot of times when players hesitate, they won't end up making the shot. As it's Zucker now. Samet. Zucker with 12. Roy with Mitchell Autumn. Missed the cutting Samet. Spins to his right-hand side. A little short on the finish. And here comes Mitchell. Vance. Sommers takes it in, gets fouled. That'll be on Samet. Two shots coming for the 6'3" sophomore guard out of Southborough, Massachusetts, Bobby Summers. Knocks down the first. Subscribe to Max Live on YouTube to make sure you do not miss any amazing Max games and highlights this season. And if you want to receive Max news and updates, join our WhatsApp group chat. The link to join is in the description of this YouTube video. Sommers makes them both. 1 point game. We just started the second half here in the Max Center Athletic Center as Roy gets called for a walk.
And as we saw those last free throws there by Sommers, that's something that Amherst really wants to get more of a part of this game. Only shooting 3 free throws so far, and YU has only shot 4 so far. For such a big team, you got to want to get to the charity stripe more often and take advantage of those free shots.
Sommers attacks again, this time leaves it short. Samet now has Roy. Pass just ahead of him. He saves it, but Sommers retrieves and will go back the other way. Reynolds slows it down. Reynolds gets by Samet. Teardrop doesn't fall. Roy grabs the rebound. And now it's Markovich. Zucker. Samet puts the ball on the deck. Zucker thought about a triple. Ooh, nice pass inside to Markovich, who spins it in.
And Matan always looking for the best opportunity. What is the best shot on the floor going to be? He had a little bit of space to shoot the jumper, but he saw the cutter, and he knew that that was the best decision to make in that moment.
Schroeder almost traveled, kept his pivot. Reynolds. Mitchell, turnaround jumper. Ooh, wow. Tie ball game. So the hot shooting continues for Amherst. Mitchell's got 6. Samet now collects inside to Roy. Ooh, athletic dribble and finishes underneath.
And we saw the last time those two tried to connect, it did not go according to plan. Samet's pass a little too out in front of Roy, but Roy was able to secure that one, and he was able to put in the easy 2.
Mitchell attacks, blows by Itkovich, and uses his right hand off the window. He's got 11 now. Samet steps back 3 short. So he's 0 for 2 on 3-pointers to start the second half as Summers now collects, and he'll give it back out to Mitchell. And Coach Sears yells at a play from the sideline. Reynolds catch and shoot. Too strong. Samet skies for the board. Berdichev, who had Markovic for a second, decides to go to Roy. Pump on the deck, mid-range Jimmy. Rattles it home.
Roy looking like a veteran out there, making the defenders miss. He knows that the defender is coming to fly in, and he pump fakes. He waits, he composes himself, and then he shoots the easy mid-range shot.
Mitchell hits again, so he's got 7 early here in the second half. We'll bring him up to 13 on the game.
Mitchell is really in attack mode right now. Amherst looking for some offense early in the second half, and he is their go-to guy.
Samet off the screen. Too short on the jumper. So he's gone cold. Mitchell's gotten hot. And we have ourselves a tie ball game with 15 to go in the game. Samet marking Reynolds. Schroeder comes with the screen, as does Vance. So Zucker picks him up. And Samet gets in the way. He's got Markovic up on the break if he wants him. Markovic stopped running. Samet throws the ball out of bounds. A miscommunication. Markovic probably should have kept his run going. Samet probably should have hit him a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he most likely should have. And I saw an exchange between Coach Elliot Steinmetz and Zevi Samet there. Coach telling me you got to be a little bit more patient. If you don't have the pass, then maybe pull it out a little bit. Make sure that your offense is patient. And yes, you like to score in transition, but sometimes it's not the best option. Zevi Samet turning the ball over way too much.
Reynolds loses the ball out of bounds. Second time in this half, Amherst hasn't been able to control what seems like an easy pass.
And Amherst with 18 turnovers here in this game after we saw that last one.
And
a lot of mental errors, and they're forcing passes that just aren't there.
The bigs check into the game, and Randall and Tom. Samet steps back from 3. This time he gets it to fall. So he left the first couple short. This time he uses a little bit more knees, adjusts, and gets the 3 to go. It's Randall. He'll try a 3. No good. And the Macs are okay with that, but an offensive rebound by number 15, Chris Hammond. So Amherst finally gets on the offensive rebound game, and let's see if they can capitalize. It's Reynolds. Tom, turnaround teardrop. No good. Samet grabs his 3rd rebound of the game. 3 from Batesh. And that gets the crowd to its feet as the Macs go up 6. Timeout called by Coach Sears. We're going to go to a quick commercial break.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
45-39, Macs up 6. 13:04 to go here in the second half. A back and forth game. Both teams at points shooting well. And it's going to come down to who can execute their game plan, their style of play down the stretch.
Zevi Samet has not played great in the opening minutes of this second half, but he's got the memory of a goldfish. He knew that one of those shots was going to fall, and he kept shooting, and eventually he got it to go, and he can get hot within seconds.
Randall, try another 3. So that's buttery from the 7-footer. 3-point game.
We're seeing more and more in this season. It is not uncommon to find A 7-footer that can stretch the floor and hit a 3 from way downtown.
Samet playing with his food. Kicks out to Berdichev. That's an open 3. Oh, and it rattles home. Shot's going to be called off. The ref claims that it hit the white part of the hoop. I don't know what he saw there. Coach Steinmetz incensed, and for good reason.
If I was Coach Steinmetz right now and I had a challenge, I would be using it, as we're going to look at the replay.
Oh, golly, that's ridiculous. Coach Steinmetz has got to keep his cool as the refs go to discuss.
I mean, Coach Steinmetz is right. As livid as he is, he's making a very good point. That was nowhere near the bar. We kind of wish that the refs could see the replay right about now.
And we'd be happy to give them our replay. The basket now counts. So, although it took a while for us to get there, the correct call is made.
Justice is served. YU deserved that 3-point shot. Dotan would have been very upset if that had not counted. Maybe this one could get him into his groove.
Randall again from 3. So he's put up a bunch this game. He's only hit 1 from downtown. Hit another mid-range shot. But if I'm Coach Sears, I want to see by big inside a little bit more. Let's chill on the 3s. Samet catch and shoot. Ooh. Off the back rim, off the front rim, and out. It's Phelan now. Zucker almost pokes the ball away. It's Tom with 10 on the shot clock. Ball almost knocked away again. Now it's Berdichev. Finally gets the steal. And Batesh will smartly slow it down. Samet behind the back, step back. Back out to Roy. They'll reset. Samet again. Poked away by Hammond. But Zucker collects. A foul's going to be called on number 3, Will Phelan. 30, Will Phelan.
And we talked about the turnovers of Amherst now going up to 20. But a lot of the reason for that is Yeshiva University and their active hands. They have 9 steals on the day from just about everyone. Batesh has a few. We saw Dotan and Roy both getting a couple over there. So many steals. So chippy with that defense.
Berdichev, 2 long strides out to Batesh. No good on the 3. Ball on the floor. Who wants it? It's Randall up to Mitchell. Mitchell crosses. Phelan thought about a 3. Berdichev pokes away, and it's Hammond. Randall, another 3. Nothing but net. Timeout Amherst, 48-45. YU up 3. Charlie Randall inconsistent from 3. That has not made him any less shy about putting up the triple.
Yeah, Randall can really stretch the floor and has been hitting those 3s. He hit a couple here down the stretch. And YU really not closing out at all. We didn't see a single hand up in his face. That's a huge problem.
So 10:42 to go. A tightly contested matchup. What's it going to take for either of these teams to win?
I think what we talked about at the beginning of the second half. Amherst has to stay true to what their game plan was, and that's getting in the post and utilizing their size and their mismatches against YU. They haven't really been doing so much of that in the second half. We saw them do it a little bit in the first half by getting Shredder some of those looks against the smaller Zucker. But Amherst really leaving it all up to 3-point shots at this point.
Same 5 out there for both teams following that 30-second timeout. And play resumes. Zucker on the catch. Throws it straight out of bounds. And Jack Terrell starting defense chants, looking to get the fans into it. As Zucker gets called for the foul, attempting to front number 22, Tom.
And that's all Zucker really can do. Once Tom gets the ball and he's comfortable in that post, there's not a lot that you could do to stop him. So Zucker tried to get out in front of it, but he was called for the foul.
Mitchell hits the floater. He leads all Amherst scorers with 15. And it's a 1-point game. Samet. Batesh coming off a screen. Berdichev. Back out to Samet. Uses the screen from Zucker. Now gives it to him. A little pick and roll. Foul. No good on the shot. Tom will get called. Zucker will have 2 free throws.
And something that YU did extremely well on that possession was continue to swing the ball. They were playing a game of hot potato. They were not letting the ball stay in the possession of one player for more than 2 seconds. And Amherst had to adjust very quickly, and it led to an open look by Zucker down low, and he is getting rewarded with 2 shots.
First free throw, no good. From number 22, shows a little frustration. So he misses them both, an empty possession for the Macs. And Amherst now with an opportunity to take their lead.
And if you want to create some separation in these type ball games, you have to hit your free throws. Matan Zucker has struggled with that throughout his entire career, but it's just unacceptable. It's something that you have to perfect.
Phelan way too strong on the 3. Tom had Zucker on him inside, decided to kick it out. Berdichev now. Samet. Not much going on off the ball for the Macs. Berdichev. Off to Roy. Zucker hits the deck. Roy, way too strong, off Batesh. And here comes Mitchell. Absorbs the contact from Zucker. Tom inside, up with it. Berdichev fouls him, so it will be 2 chances at the stripe for number 22. Tom. As you see here, nice transition offense by the Mammoths. And they'll have a chance to tie and take the lead.
Well, Amherst has 20 turnovers in this game, but YU slowly catching up. They have 12. A lot of poor decision-making down the stretch. And it is an extremely tight ball game. 1-point deficit for Amherst right now. YU could be up much bigger if they decided to limit those turnovers.
Landau and Margasov into the game. Itkovich and Berdichev take a seat. Margasov with a fresh cut. Number 2 for the Macs. Had some salad before. Most of that gone now. See how the haircut affects his play.
Is that what they're saying nowadays, salad?
I'm a hockey guy. That's a hockey term.
I've heard lettuce. I have never heard about the whole
Lettuce,
salad.
Salad. Depends how much you got. As Zucker is blocked by Randall. And here comes Mitchell. Steps into a deep 3. Too strong. Who wants the rebound? Inside it's Hammond. And Amherst takes a lead. Their first lead of the second half.
Zucker was calling for the goaltend there, but it looked like it was cleanly blocked off the glass. It did not hit the glass first, but rather it was hit against the glass. Zucker's got to do a better job of getting back on defense in that situation and not complaining about the call.
Samet tries to take initiative, can't get the layup to fall. Landau deflects the ball out of bounds. Vance checking in, Tom taking a seat. YU going to have to battle back from down for the first time tonight. Or today, mind you. It's Hammond. Randall can't get the layup to fall inside. Had Samet on him. Probably should have finished. The Macs will take it. Landau now. Margasov. Samet. Samet again, he's got 7 on the shot clock. He's going to have to hurry. Drives right, pulls up from 3. Too short.
Amherst doing a perfect job at staying with those cutters. YU was running around. They had to use the entire shot clock and force up a contested 3 at the end, but Amherst sticking with them the entire way through.
It's Randall now. It's Mitchell gets called for a travel. As Bobby Sommers checking back in. Who's going to take a break? It's going to be number 15, Chris Hammond.
And Mitchell is the high scorer now for Amherst with 15 points. He is always in attack mode. He always wants to eat and get what's his, but sometimes getting a little too overly ambitious, as we saw that last travel.
Salmon takes a seat, leading all MAC scorers with 17, but 3 of 10 from 3. Now it's Zucker. Landau. Margasov with Randall on him. 6 on the shot clock. Twisting, turning, can't find anything. Vitesh, that's a good shot for the end of the shot clock, and he connects. Max back up 2.
As Oren Vitesh doing a lot of what we saw last game, he has 9 points. And that was a bit of a bailout for the Max as Dotan Bardichev started his post up.
Who wants it more? Zucker wanted it. Ref with the athletic play to even see whose ball that's going to be. It's going to stay with Amherst. And the fans applaud the effort shown by the senior.
And a well-deserved standing ovation there. Matan Zucker seems like he spends more of the game on the floor than standing up. Does that sound about right?
Listen, he's the type of player who gives it 110%. And you have to appreciate that as a fan, as a teammate, even as a competitor, someone who he's playing against. You got to appreciate all that effort that he gives.
Thank you, Matan Zucker, for all that you do. And as I was saying on that last possession, Dotan Bardichev, or rather Daniel Margusov, started his post up beyond the three-point line. Did not really have position in the post, never got within 3 feet of the basket.
So the shot clock never reset, so there's 10 left on the shot clock. Phelan gets position. He'll get fouled, a bailout by number 32, Adi Markovic. He doesn't love the call. Shot clock resets to 20. 4th team foul for the Max. 6:08 to go in the game. Mitchell. Floater short. Markovic with the board. Landau, Margasov. Guarded up top by Randall. Failing on Markovic. Zucker cross court. Tenacious defense by this Amherst team. 5 on the shot clock. Vitesh gonna have to bail him out again. No, it's gonna be Landau. Rainbow 3, nowhere near the hoop. That's a 30-second shot clock violation. And on that note, here comes Itkovic and Samet for the Max. Reynolds gonna check in for Mitchell for Amherst.
And Riker Vance doing a really great job at staying planted in that lane and not leaving it, creating a lot of traffic. And Gav Landau had a few open opportunities, but it was too close for comfort, and the players at the top of the key for YU felt uncomfortable trying to make that pass with Riker Vance occupying all that space.
So now it's Randall. Riker Vance. Reynolds. Randall for 3. Too short. Foul on the ground by number 22, Zucker. Vance doing a good job on the offensive glass there, forcing Zucker to commit that loose ball foul.
And when Cannon Reynolds enters into the lane, YU sends about 3 defenders at a time to swarm him and try to make him turn over the ball, and that's when he's able to pass it into the corner and get that open look. Unfortunately, they were not able to convert.
And a 5-second violation on Amherst. So after the offensive the rebounding foul on Zucker. The Macs do a good job on the inbounds play, force the turnover, and we'll get the ball back. Charlie Randall will take a seat. Giovanni Tom will check in. 5:01 to go here in the game. Macs up 51-49. It's Patesh. Almost had Ikovic down low. Now he finds a cutting Patesh. Turns around. Layup nowhere near. And Reynolds now the other way. He'll slow it down. It's Bobby Summers. Inside to Tom. And one. And he says, "You're too small, Mr. Zucker. Let me squash you like a bug." A little ambitious if you ask me, though. Hasn't had the greatest of the game, but I guess whatever gets you involved.
Yeah, Giovanni Tom very excited with that last play, as he should be. He hasn't necessarily dominated Matan Zucker. Zucker's done a great job, but Tom just too big to handle.
All right, but he's got to make this free throw now. And he does. So he backs up his talk a little bit, and Amherst goes up a point. Now it's Patesh to Bardichuk. Samet. Back out to Zucker. A foul will be called off the ball on Will Phelan. That's 3 on Will, 4 on Amherst. As Zucker takes a seat and Margasov checks in. It's Bardichuk now for the Macs. As Tom got his hand in the way, he had an open Patesh. 8 on the shot clock. Margasov. Bardichuk puts it on the deck. Loses control of the ball as Vance came on the help, and here comes Reynolds. Pulls it back out. 3:40 to go in the game. Amherst up a point. Big possession here. It's Phelan. That's going to be an offensive foul on Tom. So Bardichuk draws the foul as both players were jockeying for position down low. And the Macs will get the ball back.
As Giovanni Tom is very active late in this game. We saw his and one earlier against Matan Zucker, and then we saw on the defensive end, his wingspan is just too much to contend with. His outstretched arms did not allow the Macs to see over him, but then turning it over on the offensive board as well.
Vance gets a hand in there. You got to appreciate, though, the Macs not afraid to make that pass, or at least attempt to make the pass down low. A lot of times late in games, teams fall in love with the three-point shot. But Amherst doing a good job defensively.
And Oren Patesh has been getting a lot of looks down low against the bigger and more physical defenders. And I don't know if that's an ideal situation if you're the Macs. It's hard to try to give it to a smaller player down low and have him put the ball in while he's in the post.
Bardichuk with 10 off to Roy. Roy to Margusov. He's going to have to just throw it up. Nothing there. Another 30-second shot clock violation. The Macs failing to get anything going on the offensive end down the stretch. And you got to think you got to give the ball to Zevi Samet and let him cook a little bit, no?
When the motion offense is not working, sometimes you have to go to ISO ball and look for players who can create their own shot. Zevi Samet not really touching the ball so much on that last possession. You got to incorporate him late in this game.
Bardichuk on Vance. Somers uses the window. 3-point game. Oh, wow. Margasov almost had a violation inbounding the ball. And now it's Samet for the Macs. Let's see if he can do it by himself. He'll get it off to Bardichuk. Margasov. With 10 on the shot clock. You got to get going if you're the Macs. Ball deflected out of bounds by number 30, Will Phelan. And maybe Coach Steinman should think about calling a timeout, as Matan Zucker is going to check back into the game. And Idkovich is going to take a seat.
Margusov, the freshman, looking very uncomfortable there as he held the ball for way too long. You got to get the ball out of his hands and get it to a player like Samet to create their own shot.
Margusov takes a seat, and now it's Samet. Crosses. Oh, gets inside. Things coming down to the wire here in the Heights. Max and Amherst tied at 54. These next 2 minutes, 10 seconds are going to do a lot to build the character of both of these young teams.
Yeah, the storyline is really building here. Both teams are 500. Both teams trying to secure a winning record right now. And it's going to come down to big-time players hitting big-time shots. Zevi Samet is 30% from beyond the arc, but he is hitting shots when they matter most, and he's going to be their go-to guy.
As Reynolds gets it, but he's doubled, tripled. He's going to have to try to get it over half court. I believe there'll be a timeout called by Amherst.
Very smart timeout call there by head coach Marlon Sears. He recognized that there were nearly 3 max defenders that were all over the point guard, Cannon Reynolds, and he knew that he had to try to find out a better way to break that press.
So 2:04 to go. Both these teams have been a little sloppy with the ball in terms of turnovers, but have been shooting relatively well. Down the stretch, what are the Macs going to have to do in order to eke out this win?
Well, right now, Amherst has the ball, and they're surely drawing up a play, first to break the press and then to get a quick bucket, preferably an easy 2. The Macs have to make sure that that does not happen. They have to limit the opportunities down low. They have to make sure that they're watching the perimeter and then worry about the offensive end. But the first key is to make this stop.
Again, both teams have such a hard out-of-conference schedule, and it builds a lot of character. It teaches these kids how to play against tough competition in close ball games. And we're in for a treat here with 2 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in this tie game. 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Amherst has yet to get the ball over half court. Oh, and the ball gets thrown out of bounds. So out of the timeout, Amherst can't even get the ball in, and the Macs will take over possession. What's going to happen here, though? The referee is just going to change the spot where the Macs get to take it out from. Or will they? They will.
Coach Sears cannot be thrilled with that execution on that last play. They probably drew something up, but it was not able to come to fruition. A very poor pass that was way out of the reach of Reynolds.
So now it's Samet. Last possession, he had the and one. Off to Zucker. Tom on him. Berdichev, a deep 3, short. Who wants the rebound? Vitesh throws it off of Phelan, and it's going to stay with the Macs. There's only 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Crowd applauds Vitesh's efforts on the rebound.
Such a heads-up play by Vitesh to throw it off of the Amherst player and make sure that YU retains possession.
Samet off a screen into Berdichev. Twists, turns, and finishes. And the Macs go up 2. It's Sommers now. Defense chants ring out from the crowd. It's Phelan. Zucker helps. Timeout Amherst. 1:28 to go. Max doing a good job on both the defensive and offensive end on those past 2 possessions.
Yeah, and Dotan Bardichev getting redemption for himself. We saw on that earlier 3-point shot that Riker Vance was able to get that closeout with his outstretched arm and tip the ball, making Dotan's shot fall short. But Dotan got the ball back in the post with 6 seconds left on the shot clock and just muscled his way into that bucket in crunch time. Bardichev showing a lot of heart here in what we have left in this ball game, and Yeshiva University now secures that 2-point lead, although not very comfortable.
Now, if you're Amherst, you think about trying to work the ball down low. Obviously, they have not been hesitant to pull the trigger on some triples throughout this game, but their strength does lie in their size.
It sure does, and the team's both taking a little long in the timeout. The refs want to get it going. Amherst shooting above 50%. They're shooting 53.3% from three-point land right now. Pretty uncharacteristic of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop a play looking for that three-point shot that's been working for them thus far in this game.
It's Bobby Summers to inbound the ball. Samet on him. Reynolds smartly lets the ball bounce past half court, and he'll walk it up. 10 on the shot clock. It's Phelan. Oh, and Berdichev pulled the chair out from Randall. So the Max will have a chance now to make it a 2-possession ball game. It's Samet. It's still Samet. It's still Samet. Picks up his dribble. Off to Batesh. Zucker with 10. Samet now. Sidestep as he's falling. No way. Oh my goodness, it almost rolled in. Stays out, ball on the ground. Roy's got it, and one! This Max team, they don't give up. 4-point game. And Roy's going to the line to make it 5.
And Roy with the finish there, but it was all about Matan Zucker getting down and dirty on the floor, tipping the ball to Roy, resulting in the easy 2. Matan Zucker known for that play, but doing it when it mattered most.
Roy's got 14, looking to make it 15 at the line. 46.8 to go, Max up 4. Hush falls on the Maxstone Athletic Center as Roy Ikovich gets the free throw to fall, and Coach Steinmetz is going to call a timeout. Catch your breath. We still got 46.8 to go. Max now up 5.
And something worth noting is that Yeshiva University had some great clock management on that last possession. Zevi Samet was dribbling for a while, using nearly the entire shot clock, as they did have a 2-point lead. Now, that's not such a comfortable lead, but it is a lead nonetheless. And we saw they were rewarded at the end of that possession. But if you have a lead at the end of the game, you want to use as much clock as possible.
Now, what do you think is being said in that Max huddle right now?
You just have to be smart. You don't want to make any costly turnovers should you get the ball back, but on the defensive end, move your feet, no need to foul. Active hands, obviously. Slide with the offensive player. Keep looking at their belly buttons. Anything that you were taught as a young kid, the fundamentals of defense, that's what they have to be focusing on right now to prevent this Amherst bucket late in the game.
What a treat ending our holiday weekend with a great game of basketball between two young, up-and-coming teams.
And it always seems like the crowd is a little bit dead in the first half. This crowd has really come to life and perhaps have been a major factor late in this game.
That's a 3. It's a big one. Missed everything. Samet collects the rebound. He'll get fouled. So is Helmka. who hasn't played in a while, taking the three. Way too strong. And if there's one guy on this team you probably don't want to foul, it's number 21, Zevi Samit.
Yeah, he's only had one free throw in this game, but he hit it. He is 100% from the free throw line.
So it'll be a 1-and-1. And the announcer jinx is real.
I spoke too soon.
Reynolds, that's from range. And it's a 2-point game. So Samit can't connect on the front end of the 1-and-1. Reynolds comes down the other way, steps into a deep triple and connects. And just like that, we've got ourselves a one-possession game.
Yeah, it seemed like we were just about ready to go home, hit the road, but Amherst with a huge shot by Reynolds to make this a ball game yet again. You can't really give up. Sometimes you got to just push through and realize that there's always a chance, even if it doesn't seem like there is one.
You'll see on the replay there. Not a bad closeout by Ikovic, but good offense beat good defense.
That was a high arcing shot too. That one nearly hit the rafters.
So here we go. Max up 2 with the ball. Shot clock turned off. We'll see what the defensive strategy is for Amherst, what Coach Shears draws up, whether they foul right away, maybe look to trap the ball, get a steal.
And if I'm Amherst right now, I'm looking to get Matan Zucker to the free throw line. He is just 2 for 6, an abysmal 33% from the free throw line. Not one of his strengths that he's known for.
But first they got to get it in bounds. Samit, the athletic catch, makes it over half court. He'll get doubled. They're wasting time. Off to Batesh. He gets fouled, and he could shoot the free throw. So 7 seconds wasted by the Max. Things got a little dicey on the inbounds. But Batesh now with a chance. He'll get a 1-and-1.
Batesh not having the opportunity to go to the free throw line yet this game. This will be his first one.
That's wet. Now Batesh with the opportunity to make it a 2-possession ball game. And he does just that. So Batesh calmly sinks them both. Timeout Max with 21.8 to go.
As we saw Adi Markovic and Gob Landau pointing to their forearms and saying, "You got ice in your veins, young man." Oren Batesh icing the game potentially, although Amherst still does have a big opportunity to get a few quick buckets, but Oren Batesh has done that a million times. He knows exactly what it means to come up big in those moments.
Now speaking of ice, something to note, the gym not as warm as it usually is. So maybe they got the AC pumping or something, because a lot of times down the stretch here, teams get fatigued due to the heat. But this game, much more room temperature. Feeling very comfortable in our sweaters right now.
Yeah, we went with the sweaters this time as opposed to the cardigans, and it seems to be working out just fine for us. It's not the schwitz vest that it usually is, but maybe that's affecting the game. You're right. Going to have to ask the players after the game.
So 21.8 to go. Max clinging to a 4-point lead.
And CJ Mitchell is in the game right now, and he was not in for a few minutes down the stretch, which is very surprising as he is their leading scorer, and he was their go-to bucket getter earlier in this game.
It's Phelan now. Off to Reynolds. He just hit a big 3. Phelan. They got to move, though. There's only 10 seconds left in the game. Phelan inside, no good on the layup. Summers with the rebound. Goes up. He gets fouled. They're going to call it on Zucker. Got decked in the face. He really wore that one.
It looked like Zucker might have caught an elbow there. He went down hard, always absorbing that contact. Very physical player. We hope Matan is okay. He's down for a few extra seconds there.
We'll see it on the replay here.
Oof. Did not look pretty.
That'll leave a mark as the trainer out to check on him. He'll get up and receive an applause from everyone in the building.
And it's hard not to root for this kid. He is tough as nails, being a key contributor down the stretch in this game with some of the loose balls, some of the rebounds, and some of the defensive possessions.
So it'll be a 1-and-1 for number 20, Bobby Summers. Charlie Randall in for Amherst, looking for a rebound. Will Phelan, the other man, down low. As I guess it'll be 2 shots because it was a shooting foul. Strong on the first.
Until that point, Summers had been 100% from the free throw line.
Second shot, same result. Randall gets the rebound. Summers going to throw a high arcing 3, short. 1 second left. Ball gets deflected out of bounds, but that'll all but end it. The Mac's going to survive and pick up an impressive win against a good Amherst squad, as all they have to do now is inbound it. They do so. Final score from the Maxstone Athletic Center: Yeshiva University Maccabees 61, Amherst Mammoths 57. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with our post-game show and an interview with our player of the game. Stay tuned.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, founder and chairman of Leket Israel, YC class of 96. It's citrus season in Israel. We need to rescue millions of pounds of the citrus fruit to feed the needy just over the next few months. So please give us a hand. Help the winning team, Leket Israel, and the other winning team. Go Mac!
Welcome back into the Maxton Athletic Center, where the YU Macs just put the finishing touches on the Amherst Mammoths by a final score of 61-57. We're now going to send it down to SJ Tannenbaum, standing by with our very special player of the game.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Max freshman Roy Itkovici. Roy, tonight, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. What did you guys do and what did you do to get the win today and overcome the offensive struggles?
I think today we really were able to come as a group defensively. That's the biggest thing that we worked on in practices and film sessions and everything, and just talking on defense and just being there for each other, trusting each other.
Now, you had a great and one late in the game to make it 59-54. I'm sure you heard the crowd super loud, very excited. What did you see on that play?
I just saw the ball coming to me, and I just scored it. I just got the ball, went up, just did the right thing.
How much does the leadership on this team mean to you, and what does it mean to you to be on a team with such great leadership like this Maccabees basketball team?
first, I want to say I appreciate, I've never been in a team with such a great communication and how we come together. All the team that I've been with, we were lacking of that, and with this team, I feel we're so united and everyone.
Roy Atkivici, take a look. Keep watching this Maccabees freshman star this season. 15 points tonight, huge and one to give the Macs the win. Roy, great game. Good luck the rest of the season. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you, SJ. We wanted to send a thank you out to our executive director, Akiva Poppers, executive producer, Ari Schopf, technical director, Andrew Jacobson, associate producer, Nadiv Turetz, cameraman, Eitan Traurig, Yisroel Tannenbaum, Ezra Jacobs, and Moishe Rechester, and our sideline reporter, of course, SJ Tannenbaum. It was a hard-fought battle. YU comes up on top by a score 61-57. We thank you so much for joining us and tuning in to Max Live for this Sunday matinee. Join us again throughout the season for more Max basketball. Again, final score 61-57. Thanks for joining us. Have a great one.